All right, so this is my General International table saw for sale. This is a fantastic saw. It is 2 horsepower, and it definitely feels like it's a great motor. Always starts. I got a somewhat newer belt that I put on it. It's just an amazing saw all around. I added this Vega Pro industrial 50, I think it's a 52-inch fence system and rails. Just added a new tape for it and got that dialed in. So this goes all the way out to 50 inches, and it is just a great saw. It's got a Diablo blade on it. This is a finish blade, so it's got a lot of teeth. It's for finish work, cross cuts, things like that. If you're going to be ripping long pieces with the grain, you may want to get something with a few less teeth, or just a general purpose. But this is a great blade. I use it for everything, and again, great saw. So some of the features here. This Vega fence that I've added after I purchased this saw is a great fence. So you can lock it down. It locks incredibly tight. It's dead accurate, incredibly parallel with the blade, set with a actual gauge, a dial gauge that goes up to like 1/1000th of an inch or something. This is a great feature. So you can unlock the main one. You can lock this one, the little guy here. And there's a little turn knob that allows you to just kind of turn it, and as you can see, make very micro adjustments with that. So as you can see here, great little feature just for getting it dialed into exactly where you need it. That way you're not tapping on this, and that can be a hassle. The fence also is great for putting your stuff on, whether it be some bits, things like that. You can also, sometimes I'll keep a ruler there, something like that, or even some screwdrivers, whatever you need. You just keep it here, and it works really well. The other features, it comes with this brush here. This brush is great for just wiping the dust off the table, whatever you want to use it for. This is this table here has a router table in it, so you can make your own board, or you can use this one. But basically, it just goes in here, and you have your router hanging from its with a fixed base, and you can make this a very versatile machine. You can do a lot with it. These rails under here are homemade, so basically, this system allows me to basically raise this fence. So you always want, not fence, but table. You always want this part of the table and this part to match. You want to, that should be flush. I have it set up so that you can turn these, and these will, on all 4 corners, you have one, and it will raise and lower each corner of this yellow extension table. The way that works is, I'll show you here. Basically, these guys, as you can see, they just kind of spin, and you get your studs here. These guys, they have these little T-nuts in them. They basically go on here, and you can spin those to raise each of the 4 corners of this yellow extension table. In addition, this saw has, the regular start and stop button, of course. You can also use this extension here. So what I do is I use this guy, I plug that into the wall, and then I plug the saw either into here, which means I can control it by that, Or I can plug it into one of these. I can plug something else into here. This guy is switched with this switch, and so therefore you could, have your router plugged into that, and you could control your router with this if you wanted to, instead of its, built-in switch, or sander or whatever you want. It can be very convenient to have that additional switch for various reasons. Let's go ahead and put this table back on. All right, so it does have wheels, so you can move it around pretty easy. This is now in the static position. You just pop this one and the other wheel up, and then you can't move the table. If you push this down, it pops up just a 1/4 of an inch or so, and you can basically roll this around on these static wheels, and these wheels that rotate, and makes it pretty easy to get it around the shop as needed. Of course, you got your adjustment, so you can angle the blade, or you can raise the blade up and down. Let's see what else. I have added a dust collection port. So obviously it's best if you can get this covered. They sell, various things that you can use to cover this, or you can box the whole thing in. But this works pretty good as is. Get your port underneath. This is a 6-inch port. If you have a 4-inch dust collector or smaller, you can of course get an adapter or just use duct tape. But this works amazingly well. It actually collects a fair amount of the dust, or pretty much all of the fine dust that gets in your lungs and whatnot. So that's great. We do have a belt cover. So this actually bolts in underneath the motor here, and the belt can can ride inside this. I have it taken off, but it goes on very easy. So that comes with it. You get some various additional parts that I don't use. Most people don't use these. It is wise to use a blade guard whenever possible. And then there are actual, the instruction manual for the Vega fence, which again, that alone was almost $400. I even have the original receipt from a few years ago here. And there's some additional parts for it if for optional functionality. So all of that comes with it as well. And it does come with a miter gauge for this to go back and forth, do cross cuts and whatnot. Just a standard, very very generic, just matching green, matching with this miter gauge. Personally, I would get a better one, but this one's just the basic kind that comes with these types of saws. The one I use, that I'll be keeping, of course, is a Integra 2000 SE. This is a great miter gauge, but yeah, this doesn't come with the saw. The other thing that I have is a extension table that I built here. So this extension table, basically it bolts in this way, and brings it out a little bit this direction, about a good 2 feet or so, 1.5 feet. You get a little extra room. All right, so an additional feature or add-on or item that will come with this saw is my crosscut sled that I built. This is a great tool for any table saw. If you don't have one on your table saw, I highly suggest you build one. Basically, you got, it's like a static miter gauge, basically, where you can put the part directly on this, and you can really see exactly, where the part will be cut, and you just push this right through, and that gives you, dead accurate 90-degree cuts. You can, put a stop block here and clamp it down or something, and then you can put a piece against that block, cut it, put another one, and then you have repeatable accuracy. You can cut over and over the exact same size. Getting this on and off is very easy. You just lift it up. As you can see, it's got little rails that basically ride. In here, the bottom of it's waxed, so it slides nice and easy. And yeah, another thing I should mention, this guy also slides, very easy. And the tape I just put on today. This is a brand new tape. I had it laying around and I hadn't replaced the tape yet. The old one I had, messed up over time, over a few years. And so I got a new one and put this on today. And it's dead accurate. You can of course adjust it further here, but it's very accurate. All right, now a little demonstration. Let's go ahead and loosen this up, and let's just go a little off of 90. Okay, and we will go ahead and saw this board. As we can see, this board is very, very out of square. They're very out of square here. So, all right. So here's what we're gonna do. So as we can see, this is way off. This board is out of square. All right. So we're gonna get this back into square and show how straight this saw is between this and this guy here. So we're gonna go ahead and bring him back to the stop, boop, which is adjustable, of course, and tighten that down. And as you can see, dead precise. We are talking very, very precise. Now what we'll do is we'll take this off a little bit again, and we will cut our board again. All right, and we'll flip this over here. This table saw is set absolutely precise. It's going to be like that on every corner. As As you can see, this saw is incredibly precise. It is set up, it's well loved. The only reason I'm getting rid of this saw is because I got another saw, a saw stop, which has the, it's about $3,600, I think, is what I paid. And it's got the blade that will drop into the saw to protect your fingers if you touch it. My folks, they wanted me to get it, so I did. It's a pretty nice saw. It is an upgrade from this one, but this saw was everything I could ask for. I've really enjoyed this saw. I've used it for years. It's my baby. I've done so many projects with this. This Vega fence is amazing. I highly suggest, this thing works great. There's nothing wrong with it, but I highly suggest a saw similar to, a miter gauge similar to this guy. This is amazing. You can get one, somewhat similar to this for even $80, but I think this one was closer to $200. It's got a lot of extra features, but you can get a pretty good one for quite a bit less. Anyway, I will also include this handy dandy push stick for pushing your stock through. As I mentioned, this guy. And if you pay full price, I'll include this 20 volt Porter cable circular saw with a battery and a charger. I will include that. It works great. All right, signing off. Take care.